All right, gang, we're working on worksheet 1.4, 1.5, angle relationships in algebra. We're doing the last page, page 4. We have 3 things that we're going to be looking at here. The first one, it says that A and B are complementary angles. Find the measure of angle A and the measure of angle B. So the first thing we think about is the word complementary, and the number that pops into our head is 90 degrees. So if I look here, I have 2 angles, angle A and angle B, and I know that when I put them together, it should equal 90 degrees. So I can write my equation x plus 2x minus 75 equals 90, or I can do some mental math. X plus 2x is 3x, and then I just have minus 75 equals 90. In either case, I'm just adding the 2 angles that are given to me and using the word complementary. To solve this equation, I'm going to add 75 to both sides, bring down the 3x, and I have 165 on the right. Then I will divide both sides by 3, and I get x to equal 55. Now, it does ask me to find the measure of angle A and angle B, so I take those numbers that or the x that I have right here, and I have to plug them back into the 2 angles that are up here. So I know that the measure of angle A, which is x, is 55, and the measure of angle B has to be 35 because together they have to make 90. If I did 2 times 55 minus 75, that would get me to my 35. Now we can pause this, and you can work on question 34, and then I'll come back and help you with 35. All right, we're going to unpause, and we're going to work here on 35. It says that angle A and angle B are now supplementary angles. Find the measure of angle A and angle B. And when I think about the word supplementary, I think of 180 degrees. So again, I have 2 angles, and I know together they have to make 180 degrees. When we're done, we will find out what each of the angles are. So I'm just going to write the equation x plus 50 plus x plus 100 equals 180, or my mental math, x plus x is 2x, 50 plus 100 is 150, that equals 180. From there, I'm going to minus 150 from both sides, and I get 2x equals 30, and then I divide both sides by 2, and I get x equals 15. And again, I'm going to take that and I'm going to plug it back into the 2 expressions that I have above here. And I know that the measure of angle A is x plus 50. And since x is 15, I know that the measure of angle A has to equal 65. And that makes the measure of angle B equal to 115, because again, the total is 180. 180 minus 55 equals 115, or I can plug in 15 right here. 15 plus 100 is 115. Bunch of different ways we can think about that. And then we're going to pause so that you can do 36, and then I'm going to quickly explain the last section of problems. All right, we're going to unpause. And for this last section of problems, we have this giant diagram that over here on the side, and there are all kinds of angles in it. So notice like angle 6 is this corner, angle 5 is this corner. I have 27 and 4 and 3. So in the directions, they tell you that you can use the individual numbers. Let's read through the question. It says roof trusses can have several different layouts. A roof truss is what they use to make a roof on a house. The diagram below shows one type of roof truss made out of beams of wood. Use the diagram to identify two different examples of the indicated type of angle pair. Hint, use the numbers to name the angle. So for example, you're using complementary angles, and I'm thinking to myself, complementary means 90 degrees, and a lot of times in a picture, 90 degrees is showed with a little box, so I have to find two angles that are inside of a little box, since we don't have degrees in the picture. And for that, we have angle 27 and angle 4, because there's my little box right there. So on the answer blank, all you have to write is angle 27 and angle 4. And you have to do a second one. So looking in the diagram somewhere, you have to find another angle pair that uses this little box right here. And if you look all around, I think the only other box is right here. So you're going to name angle 28 and angle 10. From there, you're going to be looking for vertical angles, linear pairs, and adjacent angles. And I gave you a couple rules here that I want you to follow. The vertical angles, I want there to be both angle numbers are even. For the linear pairs, you have to have a 5 in the angle number somewhere. And for the adjacent angles, they cannot be linear pair angles. They have to be adjacent but not linear pair. So try those, guys. We'll pause there, and if you have questions, we can talk tomorrow in class.